There was a time not long ago when it was safe to chastise your government. The opposition leader shared the respect of the Prime Minister and President. Now we have a tyrannical democracy where misplaced priority creates abject poverty. To oppose government policy is living dangerously. So now truth is a sin, and lies and deception are the virtues now trending. If I say the government in my land don't care for the local man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say my green Dominica has been bequeathed to Red China, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say Parliament has become a comedy competition, I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth, wanted for caring about the youth, wanted for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man than to be a yes man to a godless, corrupt politician. They've hired bounty hunters and character assassins on the radio. Never before have we ever seen a little money make Jumbie dance so. Men of faith selling away their blessings. Parents trading the future of their children. Fortune spent to persecute the innocent. Elimination of opposition and foreign investment. That's politics in these times. If I say law enforcement is blind to the real criminals in these times, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say the businessmen of this land are afraid of one man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth, simple truth. If I say that one man fools most of the people all the time, I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth, wanted for caring about the youth, wanted for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man and keep my soul free from the soul snatcher's hands. One man is an easy target, but I'm just one of my brothers who they don't know. Seeds of righteousness, when they're buried, they don't die, they just grow and grow. They taught us when we see wrong, we should take a stand. Evil thrives only when good people are silent. A man who hates opposition is a danger to all men. But the preachers and teachers of yesterday are looking the other way. If I say some pastors and priests in this land are hypocrites, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say 2 decades we've been lost and things are getting worse, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say today's school children are growing in violence, I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth, wanted for caring about the youth, wanted for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man than take refuge in false security of a politician.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until, well, not quite up until the 10 o'clock hour, but as close as I can bring you to it. Yeah, I may have to finish a few minutes early tonight due to circumstances way beyond my own control. Saying a special good night to the listeners via We Noise Radio 94.9 out there in Brooklyn. Also look for them on their website, We Noise.
50 years as an independent nation.
Special good night to the listeners who will soon be joining us via Sister Isle FM 92.9.
Show their patriotism. Independence not the time for no damn confusion. If you think I go come here to win.
Good night to you, Zayla. Good night to you, Zoe. Zelia, good night to you. And Deshaun. And Neela and Namara.
Independence not the time for no damn controversy. I could have said how the country fall down flat. Now it's not the time for that. No Grenadian living like dog and cat. Now it's not the time for that. How certain people riding plane like bus. Now it's not the time for that. And why the hell they have put Grenada first. Now it's not the time for that. I'd rather sing something to make everybody happy. Cause we celebrating a milestone 50. So let we sing, let we sing, let we sing. We back on we feet again. In spite of all the challenges, we back on we feet again. Breaking barriers.
And we've got quite a few things to speak about in the time that we have tonight.
We could build a stronger nation. So let we sing songs of unification.
Good night to you, Joyce Phillip. Good night to all of you joining us on the YouTube. Let me see who I'm seeing over there. Yes, everything's working properly now, yeah.
Carnival is the time for bacchanal when you make all your scandal. And in your Christmas song you could call people naming parent. But if you have any sense of patriotic dignity, beyond your best behavior on 7 February 1974 to 2024, a bittersweet journey. There isn't a better time to reflect on your history. Now it's not the time to sing about parties and politics. I find me nice Grenada does be getting too much lit. I could have sing about the houses in current. Now it's not the time for that. And the what they making in parliament. Now it's not the time for that. About to hiding their sexuality. Now it's not the time for that. About to hungry mouth and beggy. Now it's not the time for that. I'd rather sing something to make our Grenadians happy. Cause we celebrating a milestone 50. So let we sing, let we sing, let we sing.
Let me see who is on the YouTube. Let me say a special good night to you, Vanessa Lalji, Alban Harris, Claude Abraham, Sky, Errol Bonaparte, Agnes Henry, Listra Abraham, Phyllis Mitchell, Kathleen Knights, Shanron Thomas, Maria Noel, Jackie Raymond, Kathleen Ledlow, Velma Pascal, Anne-Marie Celestine Grant. Good night. Yolan Pariak, Gavin Thomas, Alan Jones, good night to you and Michelle and Zoe. Carib Spice Fitness, good night. Hermina Baptiste, Janice Mitchell, Carl Jones, good night. Maud Martin, Deborah Laborde, Public Notice, Dolores Redhead, Ann Andrews, Dominic Leroy, Gemma Warwood, Islan Mark, Matthew Boyne in a cold Brooklyn. And let me see, Kenny Buckmeyer, Good Life, good night to you. Gospel, Christine Otley, Gertrude Abraham, good night to Jamari Grandmother, Michelle Alexander, Hillary Joseph, Edmund Calise, Roy Lewis, Eliza Bernard, Luna Lolo Williams, Baby Daddy, what's up, bro? Jocelyn Matheson, Veronica Lewis, Ron Julian, Stephanie John, good night to you and Natalia, the home circle, Derek Isaac, Mayana Julian, Beavis John, Deborah Laborde, Kathina Richards, Esther Frederick, Oswald Belfon, I'm seeing Alcy Peters and Bernadette Ramsey, Jerome Lewis, Sandra Pascal, good night to you over on the Facebook. I'm seeing Jillian, good night to you, and Joan and Charmaine, Sonny Isle is there, Denise Fabio is there, Shenron, good night to you, McLean, Bernadette Joseph, good night to you, and let me see, Betty James, Chrissy, what's up? Maudlin, good night to you, Yvonne, Ashley, June, Sherry, Rodney Bartholomew, Rodney Barry, Cicely Celestine, Jillian, Errol, John, Marita, Norman, good night to you, Diana, Nakisha, good night to you, Winnie, Jennifer Prime, good night, Linda Imelda Francois, you know I must call your whole name, right? Linda Imelda Francois, good night to you, Olive, Nicole Ewing, so a good night to all of you I'm seeing popping in, and if I didn't call your name, it is not purposeful, it is just that I may have skipped it in error. Nice? And the first issue I'd like to get on here, we're getting onto it one time because I said we've got a limited amount of time tonight. The first issue I'd like to get on again is the continued deception of this administration when it comes to so-called benefits that they are giving to Grenadians. Under the New National Party, during the period of COVID, and even before that, there were increases to programs like the SEED program and so on. This government announces that, hey, they are going to increase the SEED payments per household by 200. So many households out there got the impression that they are, because they made a broad statement. All of their minions were running around, going on out there, saying that, we're going to be increasing SEED payment. They're talking about 150. We're going to increase it by $200. We're going to increase it to $200. Well, you really increase it by 50 because you return the 150, but you increase it by 50. So $200, right? So the people under the program, they were there and they were saying, well, yeah, good, we're going to see an increase in the money, but they were sort of skeptical because they were looking at what happened last year around this time when they went to collect SEED payments, and instead of the 150 that they expected to get, they got 150 less. And some of them were kicked off of the program totally. So they were very skeptical, and they were right to be skeptical because what has taken place now is, one, only specific categories of persons are getting that SEED increase. So it's not everybody under the SEED program. It is specific groups of people. So only if you're 65 and over, and there are not many. There are a few, but not many people 65 and over. You may have people between 60 and 65, and you may be very surprised to actually find out there may even be more people on the program between the ages of 60 and 65 than there are over 65 under the program. That said, it immediately cancels out anybody who may have retired at 60 and they have not yet gotten to 65. That individual cannot benefit from the increase for whatever reason. The person may have retired. The person may be at home. They may not have a significant source of income, and that person qualified for the SEED, but they still would not be given the increase for whatever reason, but only people over the age of 65. And I have no problems with giving the people over the age of 65. I'm saying that this should have been done across the board. That's one thing. Right. You also have them saying that people who are differently abled, people who are disabled, maybe the shut-ins and so on. In other words, people who can't leave home, they're bedridden and they have different chronic conditions. Those people would be afforded the 200 additional as well. So that's another category. And then I think the third category would do the mentally ill. They are going to receive the 200 as well. Right. The vast majority of people under the SEED program, the vast majority, the biggest chunk, are actually the assistants to those children who are going to school. The people who say they're the most interested in education. With the inflation that's taking place, the increase in prices, the increase in utilities, etc., that's taking place in Grenada, they did not find it necessary to increase this stipend. Even if they said that the people under the education component of SEED, that we are going to increase their stipend by, let's say, $50 or $100. No. They only increased it for the categories that I've mentioned, which are the smallest categories of person. In other words, what they did is window dressing. They gave the people who compose the smallest number of people under the program so that they can say that we've increased payments under the SEED. And then their people are out there running around the place telling people they increase SEED, they increase SEED. You don't see I was talking about 150. Look, the people, who people getting it? Because the vast majority of people who were assisted before are not receiving the increase and will not receive the increase. So let's just make that clear. There was a direct lie that was told to Grenadians. They were making these broad statements and giving a lot of false hope to a lot of people in this country. The same took place with the Imani. They said to the Imani trainees that we are going to increase your stipend by $500, and a lot of Imani trainees were very excited. A lot of Imani trainees were very excited when they heard that. When they heard that they are going to receive a $500 increase. So all of the trainees were thinking now that whatever I'm getting now, I'm going to get 500 on top of it again. Making broad statements and giving false hope to people. Because there were these trainees sitting waiting on their 500. Then the story started to unfold that it's only for those who would get the 500 were those that were at the lowest salary scale. Those who were at the 700, they would receive 500, and it would be scaled so that every trainee would receive $1,200. So in other words, some would receive 5, some would receive 4, some would receive 2, some would receive 1. So that some may not even receive if they're already at the 12 according to how their arrangement is. So that these trainees, they got the thing, yes boy, we're getting a $500 extra. Oh gosh, yes. Oh gosh, yes. And now they found out that they're not getting that. But it gets even worse. You have a significant number, and I'm not talking joke figures here, a significant number of trainees who have not received the increase. Let me say that again for those of you in the back who may not have heard. There's a significant number of trainees there are who have not received the $500 increase. Only for the coordinator of youth, yes, Ms. Perryman, to inform the supervisors of the trainees that the $500 increase only applies to trainees within the civil service of Grenada. Yeah? So those who are working in the private sector but are Imani trainees, because you didn't say Imani trainees who working with government. You said Imani trainees. And it was a deliberate statement that you made. Because they wanted to tie up the head of the Imani trainees as they were going into the Christmas season. So they said to them, we're giving you $500 increase. And I remember the video, I don't have it here, somebody sent it to me. The video of the Prime Minister who is giving the elderly and all the people under the SEED program $200. He didn't say some people. He didn't say specific categories. He said people under the SEED program. Yeah? And he's going to use his lawyer linguistic abilities to say that, oh no, you can't say it's that he said. That is deception, misinformation, and it was deliberately done. Yeah? It was deliberately done. So now you have the Imani trainees out there who who are working in the private sector, who they were looking forward, and they're only finding out now that they don't qualify for the 500. Their parents don't pay taxes like the others who work within the civil service. So if you're giving something to one, you see, that's the sort of thing. In Grenada, it's no longer all of us are equal. It's a graded approach. For those of you that know Animal Farm and have read Orson Welles' Animal Farm, you'd realize that you're having a perfect example of what took place on that farm here in Grenada. That all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Yeah? So all the trainees who are under the civil service, they should be receiving, because many of them have not received the increase. Again, because this government is in the habit of rushing, and they like to rush into things with the mouth before putting the brain in gear. So the mouth already reached down by Point Celine, but the brain still by Sugar Mill roundabout. So they're not thinking things through before making these announcements and before doing these things. So we have this situation now of many of these Imani trainees feeling crestfallen, those that remain, because as I said, they have been sending home significant numbers over a period of time, drip, 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 till they get rid of all of them. So they have been sending them home. So those that remain now, that fully expected that they're going to receive an increase. And then, as was pointed out by former Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, would it not have been more efficient if they had utilized some of that money to do another batch of trainees? Remember, they didn't take in anybody. They didn't take in anyone in 2022. They've sent home, but they did not take in. They did not take in anybody in 2023. And now we're in 2024, and you're hearing no plans outside of what the former minister said, which was that they're going to change the name of the program. I don't know if changing the name of the program is going to bring benefits to the children. I don't know if changing the name of the program is going to bring benefits to the country or raise the profile of the destroyed former Ministry of Youth. Because it was formerly a Ministry of Youth. I don't know where it is now. Yeah? I don't know what it is now. It has been destroyed. It has been gutted. So you no longer have a ministry. It's probably a division. It's gone that far. It's not even a department. It's a division of youth right now. That's how far down the train it's gone. So you have those trainees. And you know what? Sometimes, you know what? I blame you trainees. Because you are the ones that sending the messages. You are the ones that sending the messages through third party or meeting and saying things. But you all not picking up a phone and call and say it. Because you all probably living in an atmosphere of fear that they're going to fire you. But if you talk for your rights and they attempt to fire you, there are many of us here that will stand up for you. So feel free to call. Not necessarily call here, you know. There are other programs you could call. It's not necessary that you have to call here. But at least let your voice be heard. Because see, today, you remember it was the people under the FLY program. It was the people under the Youth Biz. And they didn't speak out. And now they've come for the Imani. And if you all don't speak out, they're going to deal with you all. And then they're going to go for another category of people. So I blame some of you all because you all ain't speaking out. So you have a situation with the Imani program right now that a significant number of the trainees have not received their stipend. A significant number. And they could try to say a lie. Don't try it. Because I'm going to embarrass all you. That's some people that get embarrassed for saying people lying, eh? And when I say that, all you know. So don't try to say that we lie and what we're saying is not true. There's a significant number. There are a significant number of trainees who have not received their stipend. Their additional stipend. And there has been a notice that has been circulated to the supervisors of these trainees that basically says, please note the following regarding the $500 increase to the Imani trainees. According to the mandate given to us, the increase is only applicable to trainees attached to the public service. That was sent out by the coordinator of youth. So I'm not just talking off the top of my head. I've seen the message. Let's be reminded that Imani program is a training program, and as such, our trainees receive a stipend and not a salary. Oh, you know that now. You know that now. The information of trainees who are applicable for the stipend increase who have not yet received the same should be submitted through the established channels, example, senior supervisor or compliance officer. So the trainees, there are many trainees who have not received the increase. Is that the fault of the faulty Ministry of Youth or the Ministry of Finance? Where did that problem? Because you all know that you're supposed to increase the stipend. So how come you could be giving them the old stipend when you're supposed to increase and it's people within the civil service? That's the sort of thing that takes place, and then they want you to hush. You mustn't talk. That's why I played the first song that I played tonight. They want you to keep quiet and don't talk and don't say nothing. The wrong person they're dealing with, because I go talk and I go say things. Yeah? I will continue to talk on behalf of all those who might be afraid to talk for themselves. But these things have to be exposed. And let me just say something here. I had the unfortunate, I must say, unfortunate opportunity today to view an interview on GBN of Mr. Terence Forrester. I don't know in what capacity he was there on GBN during the government's time. I don't know if it's in his capacity as an ambassador for the diaspora, but definitely he was not speaking diaspora, nor was he speaking ambassador. He was speaking pure politics. So if he's there representing the NDC, I don't want to hear from the NDC in response to anything that Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell or the New National Party has said. Yeah? Who is there to come and talk on that? Where are the ministers? You know why they're afraid to talk on it? Because they know it is true. They know what has been said is true. Let's look at the issue with the pins in the first instance. As of close of work on Friday, 4 p.m. last Friday, there was no plan as far as the New National Party MPs knew, both senators and members of the parliamentary representatives. There was no information sent to them, no information sent to the party representative, no information in relation to any pinning ceremony to take place on Monday. That is a fact. Not one person in the Independence Committee, not one person in a position who ought to have known what should be happening can dispute that fact. Sometime during Saturday night, a vague message in relation to pinning or something supposed to take place on Monday was sent. Now remember, you're speaking to people who are not the ones sit down in the office in the ministerial complex getting $14,000 a month. Yeah? You're not speaking to people like that. You're speaking about former Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, who already has his week scheduled in advance. So you can't come Saturday night to try to inform him and his MPs, and they never informed him. They informed the representative of some kind of ceremony, very vague. They ain't even saying, well, this is what really going to take place and this is where you're going to get pins and different things. Vague message that they put out they sent within their Independence Committee chat. And you know what that means? It also means that the opposition was not included in the decision to do that ceremony on Monday. This is another knee-jerk reaction. This government, I'm surprised they still are kneecap. They might need knee surgery before their time in office done, which might be sooner rather than later. Because everything is a knee-jerk reaction. Somebody come up with a harebrained idea and they decide we're doing that. Yeah, let me rush and do that. So the first thing is, as of the close of business on Friday, not one member of the New National Party team, inclusive of the NNP representative on the Independence Committee, was informed about any pinning ceremony. Terry, if you don't know what you're saying, shut up. Hush your mouth. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut up. So nobody on the NNP side was informed as of the close of business. Dr. Mitchell has his week scheduled. He has everything that he has to do. You can't come and tell the man that 8:50 or 8:30 or whatever on Monday morning, so he have to drop everything to go and do this thing. What was Senator Cox supposed to pass on to the members of the New National Party team? Honorable Kate Skeeter Lois Peters is a teacher. She teaches in St. George, in a school in St. George. That is not something that you could just say, well, okay, I ain't coming to work today. I go in and pin on children in a school. No discussion. No engagement. And you're talking about unity and come together. And then you bring this idiot on TV to talk today. Where Terry come out? Who is Terry? To come and talk on behalf and to try and respond. I realize now. He take up a thing every time Dr. Mitchell on a program. He either trying to call or he trying to muscle himself onto TV the day after to talk like he at some level to be able to respond to Dr. Mitchell. Man, hush and sit down. Hush and sit down. Who is you to come and talk on this issue? You in the Independence Committee? You on the New National Party side? You one of the opposition MPs? You don't know what's taking place? Shut up. But no, he wants to try and belittle Dr. Mitchell, so he comes out and start to attack this. What was done was wrong. Mr. Peter David, Honorable Peter David, is a lawyer. He has people he had to represent on Monday morning in court. I know that if you had to contact Peter, any time after 8 on a Monday is a bad time. Because in court, you see, all you don't know about going in court to represent poor people, children. All you know about that. All your lawyers and them is people that does deal with only these rich and famous and high and mighty against the poor people in this country. So you all know about going in court for 8 o'clock in the morning because Miss Jones' son from somewhere up in Apwetu find himself in trouble and Peter had to go and defend him. All you know about them thing. So all you ain't care. All you sit down in the office, all you getting 14,000 a month, you know. 14,000 a month they getting. So they could afford to decide they're not going in the office today because they're in charge. They could decide they're not going in the office today. Yeah? The Honorable Clarice Modest has her week planned. You expect the woman to drop everything and go. First thing, Honorable Emlyn Pierre, you expect them to just drop everything because you all come up with this brilliant idea at the last minute and decide that you're rushing to do it on Monday. But you're doing it in a way because you wanted to exclude the members of the New National Party. What was done is wrong. An official release was sent out by the Government Information Service that was a lie. Let me repeat. A release was sent out by the Government Information Service that was a lie. When it speaks to the members of Parliament and so, going to the schools, is Miss Sincere, Tessa Sincere, Dr. Tessa Sincere, is she a member of Parliament? Is she a part of the government structure? What position does she hold within the cabinet of Grenada? There is an MP in St. Andrew Northeast, an MP who beat Tessa Sincere like a bongo drum in a Rastaman dance. She get blows for so. So respect the people of St. Andrew Northeast and their choice. You can't just take any old person and show them and say, well, this is the person that you're sending to go and pit. This is Independence time. This was an opportunity that you all were supposed to be using to try and bring people together. Instead of doing that, you all finding ways and means of creating more confusion, of creating more division. Because you all want to bring your failures. Imagine You take Lako and send him in Happy Hill School to do what? Is he the MP? Is he the member of parliament for there? Is he the parliamentary representative? Lako get the biggest set of licks for the election campaign. You send him. To do what? To do what? Is he the MP? You are already disrespecting the MPs by having these individuals, whether it's Dave Andrew in St. Andrew Southeast, whether it's Tessa St. St. Andrew Northeast, yeah? Whether it's in St. George Northwest, whether it's having Lako or down in Tongue of St. George, where you all have Claudette Joseph going around. You all have these people already operating like they are the parliamentary representative. All of them get licks. And not no joke licks, they get good licks. Respect the vote of the people in the constituency. But you all did not want the New National Party members there. And then you're coming and say, it's lie and all kind of thing. I am telling you all you lie. If all you don't know what you're talking about, hush. Don't come and try to give the impression that somebody lying on all you. It is clear to see there was no intention. Because at the close of business on Friday, so you expect, what was Senator Cox supposed to send to the members of the New National Party? Was it discussed with him before? Was he part of the planning that said, well, okay, this is what there was a last minute thing all you come up with. A last minute. So NNP people supposed to leave their livelihood. They're supposed to leave their livelihood and dance to all your tune. Is all it again, all your 14,000. All you could afford to do that. Other people have work to do. Yeah? So don't let them tap all your head with this thing with the pinning ceremony. I didn't speak about it much last night, but it's time to speak about it tonight. Because they're too out of order. They're too fast. You come talking about Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell was on GBN Beyond the Headlines. He spoke of the situation of something that he has heard is taking place. He has heard that there is an ISIS-affiliated organization that has been registered here in Grenada. Yeah? The man said what he heard. And I'm trying to get the exact thing here. I have it somewhere here. I'm trying to get the exact statement that he made because I realize some people trying to twist. But the statement was clear. He heard that there is an ISIS-affiliated organization that has been registered in Grenada. I have heard the same thing too. Yeah? That there is an ISIS-affiliated organization registered here in Grenada. Up comes Tweedledee and Tweedledum and Dumber. Go somewhere in, I think it's Kaipo they go. Well, FIU was in Kaipo. Yes, the Financial Intelligence Unit was using Kaipo like the office today. I don't know if that is the office now. But it was up there. Because they ain't stupid as the other people that have been circulating this thing. Now you tell me, because I know the people that listen to this program are sensible people. We don't have stupid people that listen to this program. Stupid people let's go elsewhere. That is why on a nightly basis our numbers look the way that they look. Because the intelligent people, the thinking people come over here and look. I am fighting no numbers thing with nobody. Because they can't win anyway. Yeah? Check their numbers now and check mine. So, these idiots, stupid as they are, go and find the registration of somebody with the name ISIS in it and start to circulate that and saying that is what Dr. Mitchell was talking about. Let me state for a fact here, that is not what he's talking about, stupidity. ISIS is an organization that successfully smuggled people out of Trinidad, through Guyana, over to Europe, past through Turkey, and into Syria and Iraq. they successfully were able to implant different cells all over the planet to do different things for them. You think that an organization such as ISIS, the American FBI looking for you, the American CIA looking for you, Scotland Yard, MI5, MI4, MI6, everything, every MI that the British have is looking for you. The Germans looking for you. Every European secret agency and intelligence agency is looking for you. Every intelligence agency in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America, in North America is looking for you. Do you think they're stupid enough to come in Grenada and register under the name ISIS? Seriously. So they could spread as much as they want because they are trying obfuscation. They are trying to misdirect you. So let me let them know that is not who he's talking about. That is not what we've been hearing out there. We've been hearing something totally different out there. And don't come to me to ask me no question because I have no question to answer. It is the responsibility of the state to ensure the security and safety of the citizens of Grenada. And if they had been taking that responsibility serious, no ISIS-affiliated organization could have been registered in Grenada. Who knows if some of them carrying our passports right now into different parts of the world and what they're going to do when they go in those different parts of the world. Because if they could come and register in Grenada, considering these guys who was talking the other day about they don't care what they see as a human. So yeah, ISIS people is human too, you know. ISIS, ISIL, whatever you want to call them, there's human beings too. So you never know if they was giving them passports too. So don't come with this nonsense. And sensible people who have sense in this country, not supposed to be buying into their stupidity. We as Grenadians are supposed to be calling on the government to do a proper investigation. Instead of Terry and the like taking the tail and come on national TV and radio to make a fool of themselves because they're going to eat their words very soon. You mark my words. They go eat their foot, the boots, the lace, the socks, everything. They go eat it. Just remember I told you that tonight. Mark down the date and the time I say it. They go eat it. Come to talk about apologize. Why he ain't calling on the government to do a proper investigation? Why at the same time that he's calling on Dr. Mitchell to apologize, officers of the FIU are at Carriacou trying to find out? Yeah? Why, while he's saying that, they up there trying to find out? There's more I could say, you know. There's more I could say. But what I will say is this. Only the stupidest of the stupid terrorist organization will come into our country and register under the proper name. That's supposed to help all you to find what you're supposed to find. All you look for it. I didn't send and call all you. All is the ones that look for it. Dr. Mitchell was very clear. Dr. Mitchell said, I have heard this. This is something that I'm hearing. It is concerning because nobody want to have anything to do with that organization. You don't even want to hear one Grenadian is involved in that organization. Yeah? You don't even want to hear one Grenadian is involved or has the possibility of being involved in that organization. You know what that would do to a local bank or credit union. If funds from said organization are passed through said bank or credit union, they done. They done. They getting sanctioned left, right, center, not only here, but internationally. If it is found that funds from that organization is in a financial institution here in Grenada, they're getting blacklisted as facilitating terrorist financing. So it is a serious thing because if you have your money in the bank, you ain't want the bank that you have your money in to get blacklisted and then a run to take place on the bank and you can't get your money out. In other words, everybody run to the bank and say, I want my money because they get blacklisted or they will get closed down. And if everybody run to any bank right now to take out the money, that bank will collapse. Because bank don't keep your money, does lend it out. So any bank you go to right now, everybody decide they're running to it. So this has serious implications for Grenadians. This has serious implications if one of these people is found with a Grenadian passport. If one of these people is found with a Grenadian passport, we are going to find ourselves in trouble. Because you're going to have to go through extra screening when you travel. Because I want to make sure you is not one of them. Yeah? Because that is the country that allow them to register and so on. And then deny their existence. So Molly go deny the existence of God. So the denying. I mean, I want to know who is these people that put out this. I mean, you have to be extra stupid. It means that Sir Eric Matthew Gary. It means that Maurice Bishop. It means that Nicholas Braffett, Herbert Blaze, Ben Jones, George Brizan, even Tillman Thomas, and Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, that all the educational facilities that all of these gentlemen leading this country over the years have put in place and made sure they were budget for, that it failed because these people extra dunce. I don't want to accuse them of common sense because I don't want to lie on them. But common sense would dictate that such an organization that is so secretive, that is being tracked by every intelligence agency on earth, would not be stupid enough to come and register under their own name in a country like Grenada. So it is obvious that the references being made are not, and I'm sorry for the young lady, or I don't know if she's young, she old, she middle-aged, whatever, but they take the human information and they're spreading it there. I know people name ISIS too. I know people name ISIS, our friends name ISIS. The name ISIS over 30 years now. So nothing is wrong with having the name ISIS also. But to try to bamboozle and fool the Grenadian people, to try and bamboozle and take us like fools, tell us, let me tell you something. Eric Matthew, Gary, Maurice Bishop, all the prime ministers coming up to Dr. Mitchell, they make sure that the education system was in place for us. Even if we may think that it's not the best, they made sure that an education system was in place for us during the revolution. Maurice Bishop made sure that who couldn't read started to read. So Grenadians are no fool. Don't take us for no fool. You are not speaking to the ignorant, unwashed masses here. You're speaking to people with common sense and critical thinking skills who could know when you're trying to mislead us. Who is you? Where you come out? I mean, come on, man. Do better than that. I mean, I know you, I'm speaking to the forester here. I know you. And I know your tactics. And I know you know for a fact that what you have been circulating and the others have been circulating there is total rubbish. You know that. And it leads me to get suspicious now of why individuals, instead of trying to work along with the government and trying to call on their government and the absentee Minister of National Security, instead of calling on them to go and find out which company is being referred to. Not if it have a company. I'm saying go and find out which company is being referred to and do their investigations and find out how that was able to happen. Instead of doing that, these individuals trying to say that people lie. While you're hush, dunce, seriously, wasted education. Again, I would say it, I wouldn't accuse all you having common sense because all you can take me to court for that. Because I'd be lying on all you. And if I lie on you, you could bring me to court. I'm misrepresenting the facts. Yeah? I would be misrepresenting you if I say you have common sense. Craziness. And I see them sending this thing all over the place. And all kind of fool taking it and sending it. I'm sure what's going on here? Look, this is what they're talking. And I have to just say, listen, that is not what is being referred to. I have heard it as well. One of them come, they didn't talk about it on talking points. They're afraid to talk about it because, no. The government has to talk about it. Go and do your investigation. Because again, I'm saying it. Some of them go swallow the foot, the boots, the lace, the socks. They're swallowing it up to their knee. They're going to swallow it. Don't swallow the tongue and all. Because they are trying to say that lies, that NNP lying, and we lying, and all this kind of nonsense. Go and find out. That's what you all need to do. Folks, we're going to open the phone lines. 440-7377, 440-7377. I'm going to say it again. The mere fact that they are trying to obfuscate this issue makes me very concerned. Instead of hushing and go and try and find out, you don't know, you hear something, go and try and find out if it's true. Go and investigate and that kind of thing. Yeah? FIU up there searching, you down there saying it's not true. So what FIU doing there? What are they doing there if it's not true? What are they doing there? And tell me FIU wasn't there. Come. Tell me a lie.
The Prime Minister and President. Now we have a tyrannical democracy.
440-7377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers. You can also call us on WhatsApp. 440-7377.
Dangerously. So now true.
As I said, folks are not sticking because I had to move tonight. Yeah. To move a little earlier.
Had the virtues now trending. If I say
Dr. Mitchell say, I hearing this. I hearing it and it not sounding good. So he called on government as any decent, sensible, patriotic Grenadian hearing something like that would do. He called on the government. If it's not true, say it's not so. If it is true, do what you have to do to solve the problem, to address the issue. That is what any sensible, intelligent, patriotic Grenadian would do. Not jump on anything and say, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. And next thing, a month, 2 months, 3 months down the road, you find out a totally different story. As I say, some of you, you're eating your whole foot. Might end up all in your waist. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
local man, I'm a wanted man.
And let me ask you a question, since I speak about FIU being up there. Why is it necessary to have special branch officers following the leader of the opposition and snapping pictures of him while he goes through Grenville today? Let me say that again, because all you maybe don't understand what I said. Why is it necessary? And I'm not saying that it might have happened. I'm saying it happened. It take place. Why is it necessary to have police officers attached to the Royal Grenada Police Force Special Branch following the leader of His Majesty's opposition while he's going through Grenville today, taking pictures of him and taking pictures of his vehicle, etc.? Why was that necessary? Why all you ain't find all your tail on the carnage to go and find where the gun coming from? Why all you ain't go and find all yourself in one of them hot spot to see where all them bullets and them coming from and all them gunshot that firing? Why all you ain't take them special branch officer and send them there? Remember this happened before, you know. Dr. Mitchell, when he was opposition leader before, he went to the United States. All you may not know the story. He went to the United States and he went into a store and he bought a shirt. Right? So Dr. Mitchell is in New York. He goes into a store and he buy a shirt. You know, when we come into office, they find the receipt for the shirt in the special branch office. They send a police officer from Grenada to follow Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell while he going around New York. That happened under the last administration. This one, there are police officers following him. The police officer could have been somewhere around the Carriacou right now, or in some four roads or one of them hot area and them, trying to track down the guns, trying to track down the bullets, trying to track down the cocaine. But instead of going and trying to track down them thing, instead of trying to address those situations before we end up like Vieux Fort in St. Lucia or Beetham in Trinidad, before they go and address those situations, before we end up like Tivoli Gardens in Jamaica, before they address those situations, all your Mako in, the leader of His Majesty's opposition, a person who has dedicated his life to this country, who has spent many years not just as Prime Minister, but as the person who was in charge of national security for this country. But you have some DB special branch. Me afraid none of all you know. Because all it does follow me when already too. Don't feel I don't know what has been taking place. All you feel is one thing that has been trying behind members of the opposition here. You can't go nowhere without them knowing. And they're using devices to try to listen to your direct phone calls. There's all sorts of things taking place in this country right now. They're too Mako. But what for all you to Mako? All you ain't going on Mako? Because you're coward. All you're afraid. Yeah? So all you ain't going in them areas. All you ain't taking special branch officers and send them in them areas. But Dr. Mitchell go in Grenville, all you following. He go inside here, all you playing, all you hiding, and all you snapping picture. Steady. There's 2024, eh? Just remember that. 44073, I just missed a call, 4407377. That's the number to call and get onto the inside. Absolute nonsense. And I ain't making allegations, I'm stating facts. Test me and all you go find out.
One day, for caring about the youth, one day, for wanting fairness in my life.
So all you feel, I have not left here on some nights going home, and there's a vehicle that follows me straight from the studio until I go inside my gap? Man, come on.
Corrupt politician.
All you feel I ain't taking vehicle numbers, all you feel I stupid. I wrong long, you know. So I know all you're doing. Those all you have in plain clothes who just stand up in front of the market and do like they just linemen and snapping man when they crossing the road and all you feel I don't know what taking place with all you? Same way they snapping me, I snapping them too. Go and find work to do. It's a gun in the country. Go and find them. Stop harassing members of the opposition.
Hired bounty hunters and character assassins on the radio. Never before have we ever seen.
One thing all you will never do is get me freed. Serious.
Make jump.
All you better go in Carriacou and ask my family. But even worse, ask my family in Springs. All you go realize I ain't afraid nobody.
With your blessings, parents treading the future of their children. Fortune.
All you to Mako, and what for all you to Mako? All you ain't going on Mako.
Elimination of opposition.
We've got a caller. We've got a call on the line. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Sheldon. Good night.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
Right. I just want to make a brief comment at some info that reached me over the weekend. I just had to verify it before I could speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say I am sick in heart for that gentleman. His name is Wayne Noel. Now he was the caretaker of maybe 2 past years.
You're talking about my partner Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Right. And he was in hospital. He has a little medical condition, and he has to do dialysis 3 times a week, and it costing him over $400, about $450 to do it. Every time he does it. The problem is, on Friday, he received a letter while in hospital terminating his contract, which the contract duration will end on the last day in May. But they give him 1 month notice to let him know that his contract will be terminated at the end of next month. So it's 1 month notice. And that's his only means of survival. It happened. And I know it happened. I too was a victim of immediate dismissal. But I'm not deterred because I have a skill and I can fight for my life. But this gentleman needs the finances to assist him. And I'm calling on the Prime Minister, that is his constituency, to look thoroughly into the situation with this young man. He didn't go to the government to ask or beg them for assistance to help him pay for his medication or his treatment. He was managing time and time again. He was making it happen for himself. And I know it's the permanent secretary that runs things in those ministries. But they must act on the advice of a minister in government. So, Madam PS, the gentleman does pay people to clean and clear and to take care and maintain the playing field. Even though he is unable, he makes sure that he gets it done. That one playing field in particular, I have never seen it bush grow in it for a long time. But it is malice and cruelty on some people's part. This is not about politics. It is about survival for the young man. Now, when you take his only means of survival away from him, it therefore means you send him home to die. And is this a government and a permanent secretary that is caring? Is this the way you treat your fellow Grenadians?
Let me just say one thing here, my friend. We have to be careful when we say things about the permanent secretary. The permanent secretary is carrying out the orders given to them. They can't just decide on their own. There's a minister who is giving directive, and we know who the minister is now. There's a new minister there. There's a minister who gives directive to the permanent secretary. In fairness to the permanent secretary, and I don't want people to leave with that impression that the PS just do this. No, there is a minister who is in charge, who gives directives and policy directives to the permanent secretary who carries it out. So let's just be sure on that one. Careful with that one.
Yes, well, I said that. I say I know the permanent secretary will act on advice given to her or to him. I said that in the beginning. But they too should have a heart in saying, look, this is what happens and this is what should happen. Not because you give me a directive. I can ask you to reconsider your position because look at the gentleman is not well. And that would have been known by a lot of parties within the ministry. Because not just yesterday or last week. And he has been making sure that the playing fields are well kept. Mm-hmm. But I am saying, one,
Caller, you need to kind of speed up. You see the long pauses. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you see this is radio. Sorry. This is radio. When you pause for a long time, there's nothing going out. So you have to be careful with that, right? So if you're saying something, say it. All right? Nice.
Yes,
Thank you.
I had to pause because emotionally I'm feeling sad. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, my friend. All right. Great. Yeah, the pause. Remember, there's radio. So when you pause, it's silent night, holy night out there. Folks, I want you all to listen carefully to what, and we'll come back to that issue. Don't feel I forget Turkey at all. We come into that, right? Folks, I just want you all to hear exactly what Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell said. And you tell me if anything that he said in relation to this ISIS thing was wrong. Tell me if anything that he said was wrong. Let me just make sure I have it queued here. Nice. You tell me if anything he said was wrong. Was wrong. Let me just make sure. Right. No, again, as usual, I messed it up. Let me just make sure yes, I have to mute that there. That is muted. That is muted. Now we're good to go. Right. So let me just play what Dr. Mitchell said. You tell me, as a person with common sense, you tell me if anything that he said is wrong. Right? Let's hear. And again tonight, oh boy. Yeah, they're working with us tonight. Nice. I think I have it there now. Good. Nice. That's it.
That the ISIS organization is registered in Grenada. I said, no, ISIS, as you mean? ISIS? They said, yes. And I said, you sure you know what you're saying? And I walked out and I talked to a number of people, and they said, yes, they've heard that. Well, I am saying to the government, if that rumor is out there, please deal with it urgently, because I would not want to live in a country where the organization called ISIS has any influence whatsoever. And I think if it's not true, that needs to be dealt with urgently. And if it's true, something has to be done, because ISIS is banned in almost every country in the Caribbean and around the world. So I wonder how we could come, and what I understood, the registration of that ISIS organization was done between September and November 2023. This is the information. If it's not true, I think I am doing a service to the government. Come out immediately and do something about this, because it's troubling to me. So I'm worried about the security of the country. Colin, and especially now, as I told you at the beginning of the program, someone called me this evening and said, are you aware that the ISIS organization is registered in Grenada? I said, no, ISIS, as you mean? ISIS? They said, yes. And I said, you sure you know what you're saying? And I walked out and I talked to a number of people, and they said, yes, they've heard that. Well, I am saying to the government, if that rumor is out there, please deal with it urgently, because I would not want to live in a country where the organization called ISIS has any influence whatsoever. And I think if it's not true, that needs to be dealt with urgently. And if it's true, something has to be done, because ISIS is banned in almost every country in the Caribbean and around the world. So I wonder how we could come, and what I understood, the registration of that ISIS organization was done between September and November 2023. This is the information. If it's not true, I think I am doing a service to the government. Come out immediately and do something about this, because it's troubling to me. So I'm worried about the security of the country.
So is anything Dr. Mitchell's, has anything he said there, is it wrong? You heard something. It is something that there are various problems that can crop up in and outside of Grenada if what you have heard is true. So you ask a question of your government that was supposed to be making sure that such a thing does not happen to, hey, come out and talk. Say if it's true, say it's true. If it's not true, say so. Yeah? But if it's true, do what you have to do. So is Dr. Mitchell wrong in the statement that he has made in relation to this issue? We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear.
What's up?
I'm good.
You know, this didn't have to stick in this place. I think what happens is NDC party and a whole fraction of Canadian that is supporting NDC. they feel that they're in control and nobody cannot speak. What Dr. Mitchell said, Dr. Mitchell is saying is out of order there. He didn't come direct and say, look, he has that information. It's like they cannot understand English language. And ask him if he know, and he clearly said no, he don't know. Right? And all what the clarity he was given to it is that if ever it's so, he calling on the government to come clear the air. What they have to do is to come and clear the air. All what they're doing is lie. I'm tired of these people and them lying too much, Sheldon. And just as you see, as the independence is coming to, I keep saying, these are the same fraction of people in Grenada that used to always say we were not independent. When in the gathering where when you have
I'm not. Your call has started to degrade, and I'm not sure why. I could barely make out some of what you're saying. Hello, caller. Hello. Oh boy, it seems as though we may have lost that caller. Let's go to the overseas line. Caller, give us the caller on the other line. You can give us a call back. Go right ahead, caller on the overseas line.
Okay, Senator Scott.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I mean, we need more clarity than that. What Dr. Mitchell said the other night, we need more clarity than that. The man like a safeguard for the country. You know what I mean? This man don't want to see this island go down, the drain. He's trying to help all of us. If he heard something, he don't know if it's true or not, but he calling on the government to investigate the matter. Don't sleep on it. You understand? And another thing, Sheldon, getting me confused. Are we government have money? Are we broke? Are we stretching we hand all over the place looking for $1? Because everything go back to passport. Everything going back to passport. And Sheldon, if the bigger world start to deal with us, with this ISIS thing, if it end up to be true, you know what's going to happen to us? You know what's going to happen to us?
Blacklisted.
Yes, because then every Grenadian will be a terrorist. You know what I mean? And we don't want that. Look, Sheldon, independence, less than a month away. And look at the situation we got ourselves in. Instead of we try to brighten up the place and create a little thing for the people, spend the money among the people. You're trying to spend the money abroad to try to bring people in Grenada. Spend the money among the people. Every day on the Carriacou, still down beating, man singing. You know what I mean? Make it nice. You understand? Don't do those things. We better than that. You understand? Maurice Bishop had a problem, but we still had an education. We still had a system. You understand me? Keith Mitchell might have his problem, but we still had a chance. The poor people had a chance to eat and drink when Christmas come. You understand? Couple Christmas ago, everybody gets double salary. You understand? We must remember the good things. We're trying to see if we can remember the bad things about Dr. Mitchell, but it's just a few. So we can't count it. Independence be coming up, Sheldon. I want to see how much time they call Dr. Mitchell name. When they're talking from 74 to now, where the country, how far the country reach. You understand? I hope they talk about Ivan and Emily. You understand me? And COVID-19. They come and they get a free pass. A free pass they get. And they're abusing it. They're taking advantage. But God is good. Nothing lasts forever. Have a good one, Sheldon.
All right. Thank you very much. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. I think I've got someone on the WhatsApp. Yes, folks, you can call us on WhatsApp. 440-7377. That's the number. Yeah, ISIS had to be the duncest people to come and register their name as ISIS. Come on, it's obviously not that you're speaking about. We've got a caller online. Good night. Hello, call on the WhatsApp. You're live. Hello. For some reason, I'm not hearing the caller on the WhatsApp. Let me try again. Caller on the WhatsApp. All right. And I heard when they hung up there, so it's on their end most likely. All right. So let's try again and see if I can get through now to who is on the WhatsApp. So let me see if it works this time. All right. Hello. Good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Right. I'm getting you now. You go right ahead.
Sheldon, it's so sad to see, because of some people excuse me, because of some people hatred for Dr. Mitchell, they would rather see Grenada go off the map. I can't believe that. I can't believe there is anything worse than that, Sheldon. Dr. Mitchell said this thing was told to him. He went further to say, if it is a rumor, he said if it is a rumor, he's calling on the government to clarify that. To clarify that. What better than that? But you know what? Wickedness will always be among these people. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell came out and said he have the cabinet conclusion. He said he have the cabinet conclusion.
Waiting still.
Up to now, that cabinet conclusion cannot come forward. I don't know where he gone, but he cannot come forward. And that is okay with them. You hear all who trying to have mouth now because the administration kick them down, trample them down. But they have mouth now, wondering if a person as Dr. Mitchell would make that, if a person as Dr. Mitchell holding that status, why he should make a statement like that. They forget when this administration take them and make football. They forget. Why is it everything? They want to jump on Dr. Mitchell. Why is it?
But I'm still trying to figure out, what did Dr. Mitchell say that is wrong? What did he say that's wrong?
Sheldon, I said it. He said it was told to him. Somebody tell him that. He still went further to say if it is a rumor, because to him, it sounds like a rumor. So he called on the administration to clarify that.
While them on radio and TV this morning calling on Dr. Mitchell to apologize, they have officers for FIU scouring Carriacou trying to find out the company or the organization.
You understand?
So if it's not true, what the officers up there doing?
With their wickedness, these people with their wickedness would cause innocent Grenadians to suffer. These people and them with their wickedness would cause innocent Grenadians to suffer. No, I mean, these people and them exposing their wickedness, you know. I mean, we used to be hearing things about them before, but no, it's clear, it's plain and simple. You are going down behind a little mouse. And Hollywood burn down the whole church just to get a little mouse. It's plain. It's the hatred for Dr. Mitchell.
Because, my friend, this is an extreme.
All who hate him before, all who hate him now, and all who still have to hate him. He's only hate alone, all who hate him. All who won't be able to get rid of him.
Let me tell you, the issue is a very, very, very serious issue. Because this can endanger the lives of Grenadians, visitors to Grenada, other Caribbean territories. It is a dangerous issue. It can also endanger our economic well-being and various other aspects of our Grenadian society. It is therefore an issue that instead of just saying, dying through and trying to lie to Grenadians, go and dig up some paper and passing it out like some dunce, passing it out all over the country. And some stupid people, they have taken the paper and said, that's what you're talking about. They're so dunce.
These people are them stupid. They dunce. They dotish. Them is imbecile. Them is, I don't know what name to call them again. Because you can't tell me clear thinking people. would think about that, would want to do that. And before they try to get to the bottom of the thing and find out if it's true, they're running here and running there and saying that about Dr. Mitchell and he doing this and he doing that. All of them listening tonight. Tell them as it is, Sheldon, because it's only you.
I have already said it as it is, you know.
They just get the truth from. So give it to them. Give them full package tonight.
All right, my dear.
I'm listening.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, because I mean, I start seeing. I say, but wait now. So who will be so stupid to believe that just because something named ISIS? So if I were involved in terrorism, well, don't even use myself, but if somebody involved in terrorism, and they're so sophisticated to try and register an organization outside of the normal field of activities, you think they're dunce enough to come and register it under the name that they know the CIA, the FBI, MI5, MI6, MI2, MI3, MII, everybody looking for? Whether it's the Russian Spetsnaz have teams looking for them, the American Navy SEALs team looking for them. So you think that person, that organization, could be done? Come on, the mere fact you see that, you're supposed to know, no, that's not what they're talking about. You're supposed to know that. But instead of that, you come and sharing it out and trying to call on oh, he must apologize. Must apologize to who? I hope you're ready to apologize when the time comes for apology. I hope all you're ready to apologize when the time comes for apology. Yeah? And you know, it's have another issue, but I know I will have to be leaving at exactly 9:45 I would have to leave. So we have just a little over 15 minutes. We have about 19 minutes or so remaining. That I have to leave at 9:45 tonight. There's another issue I was going to read, but I feel I'll hold that issue for tomorrow. Because I'll tell you all this, And let me just take this call first, and then I'm going to mention it, but we're going to go more in depth into that one tomorrow night. So let me just take this call. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hey, good night, Sheldon. How you doing, brother?
Hey, quite fine, bro.
All right, brother. Happy Independence, man. We doing it there.
I always happy, and it's always independence to me. I just play the music wholly, as you know. I just play the music wholly.
Yes. Sheldon, I am actually outside looking at places, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm not seeing much bunkings in my area. My area is St. George Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? St. George Northeast is bordered by St. David, St. John, I think, Southeast. I could go on. What I'm angry with, our parliamentary representative, Mr. Ron Redhead, has not been around to illuminate our area. Like, for instance, the Tempe roundabout by the Cook Factory with Bunkton's. I'm here standing right now watching it. This is my angry. This is my point.
Mm-hmm.
These men don't care about nothing. Hold on. I ain't finished yet. Sheldon, you are doing a good program. You are making people know what's going on. Right? There was something I was supposed to address tonight, but I wouldn't. You know why? We are here. When people attack you or me personally, human instincts will say, let us go. I am on the streets. I'm on the ground. Right? So there's a car passing right now. But I'm on the ground. NMP heads.
All right, brother.
Stay strong.
All right. You have a good night.
Grenadians.
Have a good night,
Stay
bro.
strong.
All right.
Yeah, brother.
Have a good one. Nice. And let me see. Yeah, I just missed a call again. Yeah. 440-7377. Yes, those of you that can't call directly, you can call on the WhatsApp. That's 440-7377. And you can also call us on the overseas line 347-329-3101. You can call us on that number as well. Let's take another call via the WhatsApp. Let me see. I think I answered it. Nice. Yeah, I think it is. Right. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Yeah, hello, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, caller. Go right ahead.
Yeah, how are you? Yeah.
I'm quite fine.
I want to make a call on the premise and send it to when Mr. Oliver Joseph was in office. He build a fire station in St. David's Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And up to this blessed day, not a fire truck, you had a fire up in Latin today. Truck had to come from Grenville and tongue to go up there. And that know that that place built going on 2 years and hard. And no truck.
And caller, I must say that arrangements were made for a fire truck for St. David before the new National Party left office on the 23rd of June, exactly 1 year, 6 months, and 24 days ago. Arrangements were in place at that point in time for the fire truck for St. David. We ain't crazy to build a place to put the fire truck and have no fire truck to put in it. It was on the way.
Facility, no truck. You understand? But I know what's going on. You want to delay it now, so when they come, they go see what he's doing thing.
No, they want to do that closer to election. That's the plan. Do it closer to election. So then people will say, wow, fire truck in St. David's. Meanwhile, 10 people house could burn.
Yeah. You understand? You check the catch.
Mm-hmm.
And Sheldon, I listen to the Prime Minister, the ex-Prime Minister, when he talk about the ISIS thing there. What wrong the man said?
Not a thing is wrong with what Dr. Mitchell has said.
Watch,
Nothing.
I hear something in the video. Talking about him misleading. Watch. Watch. Why watch? These people are them. I don't know, I tell you, the man don't say nothing wrong. Nothing
But
wrong.
man, them misleading, the missurring, the sir leading, they're doing all kind of thing. The anti-leading and all, they're doing all kind of thing. Because the statements that they made.
The people, because you are going to, the man say they trying to twist it in a kind of way because they know now, like, and I hear certain people like, watch, I hear listen, you ever call there? I talk about this morning, I didn't want to call back, but I say let me not lead that idea. Sheldon, you do a wonderful job educating us. That's nice. Have a good night,
brother. Thank you. 4407377, that's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. 347-329-3101 for those of you in North America, my good friends out there in Maryland, and those of you out in Texas, those of you listening in Florida, and of course, the New York squad. We say a special good night to each and every one of you. We hope that you all are having a wonderful night tonight. Yes, indeed. 4407377. You can call us direct. You can call us via the WhatsApp. I'm using those numbers, folks. We had to have a conversation about an organization called Nation Builders. And all you hear about Nation Builders, this initiative that they have going on and that kind of thing. I don't want to get deep into it tonight because there's a lot to explain and I want to take my time. I don't want to rush through it. I want to take my time and explain Nation Builders and explain the mix-up with Nation Builders, who girlfriend and where it located, because I could tell you that it is registered to the Prime Minister's residence. No, not the Prime Minister's residence as the official residence, as into buildings that he owned in Tongue. And then in Grenada, yes, in them locations, his locations and so. But it's an NGO that registered and getting several benefits from the people of Grenada due to the way that they have been registered and so on. And they were registered by the Prime Minister's company, Mitchell and Company. We're going to talk about that more. In fact, tomorrow night, that is the main issue we're going to deal with. There's some others that coming up because I realize as well that they have finally found the necessity. If one particular journalist did not get the information and put it out yesterday, Linda Straker again, in relation to the COVID situation in Grenada, this government would have sit down there and say absolutely nothing. So the bus drivers who I came to town with this morning that made sure that they had their hand sanitizer and they're using the hand sanitizer regularly, they would not be doing that. The one or two people who've decided that they go wear masks because you had 17 cases last week alone, and for each of those 17 cases, you had to multiply how much per person that they may have been in contact with and that sort of thing, because it's not a cluster, it is people from different areas and that sort of thing. So now the government find out that, we're going to talk about that now. Swine flu, for weeks, swine flu has been circulating out there in St. Vincent and they've been sending out notices. You're hearing people over here saying it's have a bad cold going around and that sort of thing. We don't know if it's swine flu or not. We don't know if they're testing for it because our government, the Ministry of Health, seems to think that they don't need to speak to us. They don't need to tell us anything. Don't worry, just leave them there. They go survive. Maybe. Yeah? That's the attitude. And again, I'm not blaming the chief medical officer. I'm not blaming a hospital administrator. I'm blaming the minister, because they are the ones that set the policy in place. So the mere fact that we have not been getting updated information since about August or September of last year in relation to these various viruses that may or may not be in circulation in Grenada, with additional information of what precautions to take. The mere fact that we have not got that information since about August or September last year should tell you a lot about who was in charge. They was afraid that we find out information. Yeah? They was afraid. Why are you afraid? Grenadians need to know if there's an uptick in cases. You wait until, today there was a cruise ship in, a lot of people walking around and different things like that. Yeah? So even if people don't want to wear a mask, at least they know to carry the sanitizer and so on. So they sanitize and they take some precautions. Yeah, you may not go into the social distancing and so as much as before, but at least you take the basic precautions that you protect yourself. And if you know you're an individual who has a high likelihood of, if you contract COVID, because they have not sent any information over to CAFA, apparently within the last 6 months or so, they have not sent information over to them. So we don't know what type of COVID, what branch of COVID, because it keeps evolving. We don't know which one is active in Grenada right now, or which ones, because usually more than one that's active at the same time. Yeah? But all of that, you don't blame the staff in the ministry for that. That is a policy directive that comes from the desk of the minister. So the former minister was a failure, and this one starting off in the same way. But if you remember, the present minister is the same one. That's how all them houses and them sit down there that remember, he said those houses were supposed to be occupied by Christmas. But you're hearing the stories now in relation to those houses. When you're passing Corinth, are you seeing people living in those houses? Are you seeing people living in the houses in Bujeju? Yeah? But here's some free advice to the government. Let us say don't give them advice again. Them some free advice tonight, because, again, we don't want to accuse them of having common sense. We do not want to be taken to court for making false statements against members of this present administration by accusing them of having common sense. So we're going to give them some advice that a common sense individual or somebody who knows what they're doing would do. Here now, instead of hiding from the public, have a press conference and address some of these issues. Have a press conference and address the issues that is taking place with the people trying to get the houses. That when they go to certain financial institutions, the financial institutions are telling them that, hey, we ain't know all you come with this here for, we already tell these people we cannot participate in that. Yeah? That is what they're supposed to be, having a press conference and saying, what is the new plan? What is the new strategy? How are we going to ensure that these people who really need the houses and should have been in the houses a long time now, that they get the houses and they go into the houses? How are we going to do it? Even the one or two people that actually get money and have the money in hand can't get the houses still. Come out, have a press conference, explain to the Grenadian people, but they wouldn't do that. Remember, the failure that you had as the Minister of Housing, that have that situation in place now, they take him and put him in charge of me and you life because he's now the Minister of Health. The failure that did that, that's the one they now have as our Minister of Health. Yeah? So they take a failure from one place and they put him in a area that I think is more important. Yeah? Come out, have a press conference. Free advice. Free advice. Free. All you don't have to pay for it. Yeah? Have a press conference. Speak to the Grenadian people. Let us know what is the situation that obtains in relation to the houses in Carriacou, in Bujeju, in Corinth, and those in St. Patrick, St. Mark. Inform the Grenadian people what is the present situation in relation to those houses. Additionally, when you're having that press conference, right next to the people that come in to talk housing, put the people to talk about the allied healthcare, because you always send out something there today, and people under the allied healthcare still wondering what do they need to do. They don't know what to do. They have been trying, and apparently, like even the people that you all have in the people that you all have in the so-called allied healthcare thing, like they don't even know what to do. So you all have created a cumbersome system that it seems as even though the people you have working in the system don't know what to do. And there were you all threatening people that, hey, you wouldn't be able to operate your barber shop, or you wouldn't be able to operate your nail salon, or you wouldn't be able to operate your beauty salon and so on. So I see them send out some documentation today telling people they have a deadline by which to register to go and do training. I want to know, who are the people that are providing the training in Grenada? Who are the people thus qualified to provide the training to the CVQ level necessary to be properly certified and registered here in Grenada? I also would like to know which company is offering the insurance coverage to people in the beauty industry and allied healthcare professionals. Which insurance, because there's none in Grenada as far as I know that are offering the type of insurance that needs to be had, and there may be one in Trinidad. But you're sending out thing and giving people deadline again. All you learn about deadline the last time when we tell all you doing stupidness, when all you give people 2 weeks to go and register, and all you didn't even have a registration system put in place. And as I speak register, and before I run out of time, folks, get registered. A good friend of mine messaged me today, and they said something that was kind of playing in my head. Now, you have these flights that are being organized by the government from what we're hearing. From what we are hearing, there are various flights being organized by this administration to bring in hordes of people for the independent. Maybe they find nobody ain't go in the various things that they have, so they have to fly in people to do it. Well and okay, right, nice. They're flying in people. These people have constantly been told, if you're not registered yet, ensure that you have the opportunity. You're coming down to Grenada now, come and register. So when election time come, we're going to organize to get you down to Grenada to vote. So get registered when they come down. My good friend who I was speaking to today was saying that they've got a feeling that this administration during the independence celebrations is going to announce a referendum. And that referendum will be in relation to Grenada becoming a republic. If you all remember, our present Prime Minister in an interview in the UK, I believe it was late in 2022. Our present Prime Minister in an interview, and I'm trying to remember the newspaper, I've got the clipping somewhere, stated that how it is his intention to take Grenada towards being a republic. And the feeling is that there's a high possibility that during the independence, when you have that independence celebrations taking place, that an announcement towards a referendum may take place, because he did mention the year 2024. Yeah? And there's a move among certain OECS territories. Some of my friends have stated their clear intention to go towards being republics instead of being part of not a crown colony, but being part of the Commonwealth of Nations as in just an independent country, but not a republic, still being sworn to the Queen and this sort of thing. All right? So look out for it, because there may be hordes of people that are coming down here and registering. Sometimes we think it's that, and sometimes you get a snap election. Yeah? They say the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. So ensure that you are registered. Ensure that your friends and your family are also registered. Yeah? Ensure that your workmates, now if there's any, we registering them, but make sure your workmates are registered as well. Your neighbors are registered. Your fellow congregants in the church, make sure they are registered too. We can't make joke with this thing, you know. We can't make joke with this thing. We have to ensure what is done properly. Yeah? So we can't make joke with this thing. Right? Good. Nice. Folks, we have roughly just about 4 to 5 minutes remaining. Yes, I have just about 4 to 5. By the time you hear that, it would be extremely less because of the system that we're using. So you'd hear it a little later than I'm actually saying it. Folks, do visit our donation link, please. Yeah? Do visit the donation link. Some of the problems that I've been having in studio are due to one or two things that need to be swapped out and replaced and so on. There are folks who have helped, and one or two of the things that you are in the studio now, folks have helped. So we need to sort out one or two other things inside of here. Because right now, if I push a certain button here, you're going to start to hear a certain noise in the studio. So I have to be very careful. All right. So we have to sort out one or two things. Visit the donation, if it's $5, $10, whatever it is that you can donate. Visit the link. The link will be up at the end of the program. Visit the link and ensure that even if it's $5 you can give, $10 you can give, whatever it is, so that we can be able to purchase what it is that we need to have for the studio to ensure that the program can continue and we don't end up with problems like we had last night and that sort of thing. All right? Nice. So, folks, yes, tomorrow night, I definitely am going to be delving into nation builders because we have to find out who Girlfriend is one of the the directors of nation builders. You have to find out who Girlfriend is. Yeah? You have to find out where nation builders is located and how recent legislation has positively impacted the ability of nation builders to carry out their activities. And then I want to be able to ask the question, in relation to nation builders. They have said quite a lot about faith program. In fact, officers of the Royal Grenada Police Force have over the period of months called in various young people and other people who have been involved in faith program at different levels and questioned them and so on. But there is an active court case in relation to that issue. Because while our Prime Minister found it necessary to pay people who lost a case, these people who have worked under the faith program, for the last year, 6 months and 24 days, or 573 days have been waiting for their money and are not being paid. Let me say it again. For the last 573 days. If you're listening this the morning after the program, 574 days that this government has been in power. They just bluntly refuse to pay these people who have worked under the faith program. They had the worst to say about that organization, the faith organization. Go and check with GIFSA and you'd realize that the faith program is one of the only programs in Grenada that is properly registered in all forms and fashion that it should be. I know if nation builders fully there yet with GIFSA and all them kind of thing, but I know that faith is. Yeah? But yet still, they refuse to pay. They refuse to pay and making all kind of illiterate statements in relation to the faith. But now they are nation builders, and I'll tell you all something too. There are a lot of other little companies and organizations that you may hear in passing. So when you hear $15 million for independence, ask yourself, who are the companies and who are the shareholders and the beneficial owners of those companies that are benefiting from that? And you may be very, 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 very surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, but you might be, to find out who some of these people are. Yeah? Some of these companies that receiving the checks for tens of thousands of dollars from the government of Grenada for providing certain services for the independence. That is how the 15 million gone. You may be very surprised to find out the companies, who are the people behind some of these companies. And all you go tell me if it's right. Folks, as I said, I need to leave at exactly 9:45. It is 9:44 now, so I need to wrap up. Folks, in everything you say, everything you do, do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Yes, we will be on tomorrow night. I'll try to do my full 2 hours tomorrow night. You know how it is with me sometimes. I have to get out a little early tonight. Folks, so in everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. And I'm going to leave you all with this one again because I don't know. I just like this one, man. I just like this song. Yeah.
was a time not long ago when it was safe to chastise your government. The opposition leader shared the respect of the Prime Minister and President. Now we have a tyrannical democracy where misplaced priority creates abject poverty. To oppose government policy is living dangerously. So now truth is a sin, and lies and deception are the virtues now trending. If I say the government in my land don't care for the local man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say my green Dominica has been bequeathed to Red China, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say Parliament has become a comedy competition, I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth, wanted for caring about the youth, wanted for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man than to be a yes man to a godless, corrupt politician. They've hired bounty hunters and character assassins on the radio. Never before have we ever seen a little money make Jumbie dance so. Men of faith selling away their blessings. Parents trading the future of their children. Fortune spent to persecute the innocent. Elimination of opposition and foreign investment. That's politics in these times. If I say law enforcement is blind to the real criminals in these times, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say the businessmen of this land are afraid of one man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth, simple truth. If I say that one man fools most of the people all the time, I'm a wanted man.